So the dev team just blessed us with a new sneak peek of what's coming in update 1.5, and I could not be more excited for what's in store. As is tradition, whenever any sneak peek for this game comes out, I am going to make a video about it, and it will be 8+ minutes long. So if you don't know what the sneak peek is that I'm talking about, very recently, I think an hour or two ago at the time that I'm making this video, in sub announcements there was a new sneak peek featuring a JoJo character. And not just any JoJo character, one of the best villains in the anime. Let me show you the sneak peek right now. So there's a lot to unpack here. We got King Crimson Diavolo, we got the impact frames, we got the very start with the letters, we got the background. You know, if I really wanted to, I could dissect every single impact frame for 5 minutes individually, but the bills aren't that high. So let's just go with what we can immediately see. Right now, we have Diavolo as a confirmed unit for update 1.5. And this actually blindsided me. This caught me by surprise very much, because a little while ago, one of the developers for the game had actually deconfirmed JoJo as an update ever coming into the game. I'll put the screenshot right here. Andre, you sly dog, you fooled me. You know, you bamboozled me. You pulled a fast one. I wholeheartedly believed you when you said JoJo was never coming into the game. Deep down, I thought that was kind of lame, because JoJo is such an easy anime to make an update for, and since it has such a huge cult following, it's almost a guaranteed success whenever a JoJo update is in the game. It's a mainstream anime who isn't going to like it. So I was kind of bummed out when you said JoJo would never be in the game, and you know, I was proven wrong. You were lying. You were trying to deceive us, and it worked. I did not expect a JoJo update at all, and with the recent sneak peek of the main character from Dandadan, I was expecting update 1.5 to just be like Dandadan with maybe a random unit from some unknown seasonal anime here or there, like the time I got reincarnated as a vending machine. That's what I was expecting. Also, please add the time I got reincarnated as a vending machine. I think that would be a big successful update. Anyways, yeah, so now that we know Diavolo is a confirmed unit to be put inside the game, this opens the doors for a lot more cooler units, like a lot more units from JoJo that could be added into the game, and that is what I want to speculate for this video. But before we do that, I just want to take a minute to appreciate some of the impact frames and try and see if they have any sort of hidden meaning here. Let me just pull up one. So this was the first one that caught my attention. This was at the very start of the sneak peek, and you can barely see it. It's like a singular frame of the sneak peek, and it says, "Your efforts are useless." It's just that same line written over and over again until it covers the entire screen, and I think this is definitely a reference to Diavolo's character, especially his super duper famous quote. Alright, so that little clip basically had the whole quote in it, the "no one can escape fate, blah blah blah, sing a song in a world where time has vanished." I think that is a very direct reference to the first frame of the sneak peek where it says all your efforts are useless. I'm sure that they couldn't just outright rip a line from the anime, so they had to improvise and change it a little bit. That's what I'm 99% sure that the first frame of that sneak peek is referencing. Because obviously all your efforts are useless, callback to his character, embodying his desire to control time, blah blah blah. This isn't a JoJo channel, but you get the gist. That is what I think the first little sneak peek Easter egg, I guess, of sorts would mean. Do any of these analyzations really mean anything in terms of the update? No. So let's just dive into what characters I think might be coming into the update alongside Diavolo. Diavolo? Oh my god, I don't know how to say it, whatever. So I have some JoJo characters that I want to talk about, and I'm gonna order them from most likely to get added to least likely. So the ones that I'm going to start with are the ones that I'm fairly certain we might get, And then later down the line, the rest of them are going to be kind of a stretch. Let's start with our first candidate, which is going to be Giorno. Obviously, I'm going to put Giorno as my #1 most likely JoJo unit to get added because, #1, he's in the same part as Diavolo Part 5. He's also the protagonist of that part. So if you're going to add the main villain from Part 5, it only makes sense that you would add the main hero from Part 5. So, you know. Also, Giorno's been in like a bunch of other tower defense games. I'm pretty sure he was in Anime Adventures. He's in ALS. I'm sure there are more examples. My mind's just trying to blank. But yeah, he'd be a pretty easy character to do. He's already been done, so it's not like there's not a framework as to what his moveset would be in the first place. He has really cool abilities in the anime, so again, it would be pretty easy to draw some references in order to add them into the game. That's candidate #1. Next one that I'm going to talk about is Mista. Or I don't know if that's how you say his name, Mista. The dude with the gun. He's also in Part 5. I am not extremely certain that he's going to be added, but I do think Anime Vanguards likes to go the route of not adding the most traditional characters of sorts. What I mean by that is, like, on release, yes, they had a lot of characters from mainstream animes, but let's compare it to something like Anime Reborn, where all of their mythics were like characters from the big three, like Broly, Mihawk, Odin, whatever he's called. Yeah, on release, what were the mythics that Vanguards had? They had Vegeta, obviously he's really popular. Sung Jin Woo, I don't think he's like big three material. I don't know if it's fair to, I mean, he's not underground. He's not underrated, you know. I think everyone's read Solo Leveling, but you get what I'm trying to say. What other mythics did we have on release? Sasuke, obviously big three. Naruto, big three. I'm drawing a blank. I know we had more than just those mythics on release. You get what I'm trying to say, though. I feel like their lineup is a little bit unorthodox, but in a good way. Maybe Mista would fit the bill, maybe he wouldn't. I'd be lying if I said I'm sure that he's going to get in the game, but these next two characters, I'm going to put them side by side. I'm 70% sure that they'd be added. Jotaro and Dio are obviously going to be my next picks for who's going to be in the game, because when you think of JoJo, you think of these guys. This is the staple main antagonist and protagonist of the series. I'd say that they're the most iconic as well. Jotaro having his time stop, Dio has his time stop. They both have, you know, cool stands with abilities, beat downs. He has a knife throw. They can do the little, like, forgot what it's called, like when they dash forward, but it looks like a teleport. You get what I'm trying to say. If you're gonna have a JoJo update, why wouldn't you add the arguably two most popular characters in the series? Obviously that's debatable, but I know Part 3 is very, very popular, and so are the characters. It wouldn't seem like a bad idea to add these guys. Let's move on to the next character. I'd like to see Avdol. I think the type's Avdol. Yeah, I'd like to see him in the game, just because I don't think I've ever seen a tower defense game actually add him. And he does have cool abilities. His stand is fire related, so I'm sure we could use another burn unit, especially since, I mean, is Sukuna a burn unit? I forgot. I don't think he is. So, yeah, I'd like to see him in the game. I don't think this one's likely, though. Next. Josuke is not a bad candidate. I could see him being in the game with Crazy Diamond and all his other abilities. But at the same time, it's like, it's kind of iffy. Now, if I remember correctly, his stand does have the ability to heal people. Maybe he could be the first mythic unit that has the same ability as Sakura, where he can heal your units of negative status ailments. But instead of having to have a burden on your team like Sakura, who does jack shit damage, you might actually have a mythic who could hold his own in later game content. Maybe, maybe not. Who knows? Who knows? Next unit, or next character that I think would be a unit. Kakyoin. Emerald Splash guy. You know him. He was also in Part 3. Am I super duper sure he's going to be in the game? I believe he's been in other games before. 99% sure he's been in AA before. If they do choose to go down that route, I already have some ideas as to what his moveset would be. Emerald Splash being one of the very blatant choices here. I'm not too sure about this guy being in the game, though. I don't know if he has as much popularity as the previous choices, and I'm just going to shoot rapid fire through these characters now. The rest of these, I am fairly certain won't be added, but I would absolutely love to see some of them. Maybe not even as standalone complete units, but more so exclusive units or leaderboard units. I think some of these would be really cool. Let's move on. Wonder of You, one of the coolest stands in JoJo, probably my favorite stand in the series. I think this would make a badass exclusive unit. Maybe in the battle pass, maybe as a tournament unit, who knows. Chances of him getting added, slim to none. Cars is another really badass unit that I would love to see in the game. He does have a lot of fighting capability, so making a full moveset for him as a unit wouldn't even be hard at all. But since they teased Diavolo and Cars is nowhere near that JoJo part, that's where I start thinking, yeah, he's probably not going to be in the game. But it is fun to theorize. Next, Funny Valentine would have, like, I know he would have the dopest cosmetic. You could have some real American type flag, I don't know, American something cosmetic for him. He also does have, obviously, abilities. He has a stand. So, who knows? Maybe, maybe not. Next, Iggy. I would adore to see Iggy in this game. He is so cute. I won't spoil what happened to him, but those who know. Those who know. Anyways, do I think he could be a mount? I mean, he's like a really small dog, so they'd have to like up his scaling by a lot. I think an Iggy mount would be cool though, and it is JoJo themed, so who knows. Kira and Gyro are two antagonists which are very beloved within the series. They have a lot of cool moments and cool abilities. I don't think it's a stretch to think that maybe one day they could be in the game. Gyro definitely not. Actually, yeah, Gyro is like a massive reach. It is massive, but Kira, no. I've seen Kira in other TD games, like ALS. Do I think Anime Vanguards wants to add Kira, though? I don't know. Like I said before in my prior little spiel about Anime Vanguards roster being a little bit unconventional, I don't know if they'd opt in to add units that are already in their competition, especially in a competition as big as ALS. Like, a lot of people know about ALS. So I think they'd want to set themselves apart by adding cool units that haven't been in the game yet. That's just my little personal headcanon, so I could be wrong. They could just, you know, add all JoJo units that have been in other TD games before, and they would still probably be successful. You guys saw that sneak peek. If all the units in the coming update are at the same level of quality as Diavolo, then I wouldn't mind waiting 4 weeks per update. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I would be happy, because quality like that. First of all, impact frames in a tower defense game, like, what the heck? We're pioneering here, because I've never seen that in a TD game before. That is dope as fuck. I thought that was specific to Battlegrounds games, but who thought? Who would have thought we'd see it in Anime Vanguards? Which I am super duper excited for. I think that they're really trying to step it up, since Anime Reborn basically proved that any big tower defense game can just use the foundation that they laid forth. You know, I'm not saying Anime Vanguards walked so Anime Reborn could run, but a lot of the systems in Anime Reborn work very well and are beloved by their player base because Vanguards already had the tested formula that works, right? If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Stuff like unit manager, hotkeys, passives, debatable, profiles, clicking on someone to see all their information, all systems which Anime Vanguards popularized that Anime Reborn uses, and it works really well. One of the reasons why the game is as popular as it is, but I'm getting off topic here. This video was a little bit longer than I thought it would be, but I kind of got too into talking about JoJo characters. That is going to be it from me for this video. If you guys enjoyed the video, learned anything new, or liked hearing me talk about the game, feel free to like, sub, comment, all that wonderful stuff. Let me know in the comments which JoJo character you want to get added into the game. My personal favorite being Wonder of You. Will he ever get added into the game? If I'm being honest with myself, probably not. So yeah, but who knows? Fingers crossed. Anyways, that's it for me. See ya. I lied. I have one more thing left to say. As I was editing this video, they dropped one more sneak peek, but it wasn't really substantial enough for me to make an entire video about it, so I'm going to talk about it here first before I upload the video. The model is King Crimson Requiem, so do with that information what you will.